Okay, so welcome on guys. I think I'm live. I actually haven't done a Google Hangout in quite some time. I actually had to Google how to do a Google Hangout. But it's so funny. So just to show you, that even if you don't know what you're doing, it's fine. Technical difficulties always happen. But I really wanted to present an on-screen presentation here. So I opted out of the Facebook Live for now. So if you're watching, welcome on if you're live. If you're not, then you may be watching the replay. But essentially what I'm going to be going into is the 3 pillars of traffic. And we're actually going to be addressing some of the things that I've literally seen. I mean, like 95% of people don't consider these questions when they're getting started online. And they just kind of jump in and get really confused and overwhelmed. So to help you avoid that, I've put together this little video series for you, and today is video 1. So let me actually go in and share my screen. Can you see my screen? All right, I'm just getting confirmation my screen is showing.
Yeah, if you're invited. Yeah, I can see it.
The 3 pillars of traffic? Yeah. Okay, so welcome guys. So this is the 3 pillars of traffic kind of breakdown. And we're gonna, again, go into the first pillar today. And let's just dive in here. So in this video series, you will learn first, so this is today, how to choose your traffic source. Second, how to do effective audience research, because there's a difference between effective and ineffective. And third, where to send your traffic and monetization. So these are all kind of those topics that a lot of people actually don't address, and I do want to address them because we've been getting questions. And I remember what it was like when we got started online, and again, it can get very confusing and overwhelming. You can kind of feel like you're going down this crazy rabbit hole, and like there's no end in sight, and there's just like a ton of information. So the first pillar that we'll be going over today is how to choose your traffic source. So when Romeo and I got started online, what we discovered is, and I'm going to be going through these kind of points, but I remember getting started and I had no concept of what traffic is. When I talk about traffic, obviously I mean website traffic, social media traffic, any kind of traffic that brings people to you, for you to be able to present your product or service to them, right? And there's many ways to do this, and there's many, many, many different kinds of traffic. And so I remember when we got started, we were just kind of floating around on the internet trying to figure things out, and realizing that just because we could put our offer out there, just because we had a website or a product, didn't really mean squat. And unfortunately, it's because if people can't find you, you're kind of like this little island on the internet. There's just no way people can get to you. So you may have, let's say you have a store on an island and you have the best coconuts in the entire world. If people can't get to it and they don't know about it, it won't matter. And so I see so many people that have amazing products, amazing services. Some people are talented where they create their own stuff, maybe photographers, artists, like anyone really in this kind of realm. And I really believe everyone has a creative kind of aspect to them. And they have these amazing things and these amazing products and ideas, and it's just that they don't know how to get that product in front of people. And unfortunately, this is what creates that kind of starving artist syndrome, where a person may have this amazing thing to bring to the world, this amazing gift, but they just don't know how to do it. And there was a story in Rich Dad Poor Dad that I will always remember that really hit home, and it was one of those things that, when you read something or you listen to something, it just really stays with you and it makes a big impact, even though it may be something small. And I remember a story in there where Robert Kiyosaki, he had just done an interview with his journalist, and then after, she was trying to get some advice from him, and she's asking, I want to be a best-selling author like you, and I want to get my work out there. I want to write a book. And and I'm paraphrasing here, obviously I may have the specifics wrong, but the main story and the gist of the story is here. And she's like, can you give me any advice? And what he said to her was, he recommended for her to go out and take some workshops on selling. And she was automatically offended and said, I'm not trying to be a salesperson here. I just want to be an author. I just want to sell my books. And he's like, well, what does it say on the New York Times bestseller list? Bestseller. You know, there's other books out there that may be amazing, but if they're not getting on that bestseller list, they're not going to be seen. And so it hit me because at that point, Romeo and I had spent like 6 to 8 months thinking of product ideas based off the 4-hour work week. And we created this product. And then it was just realizing that, okay, you know, maybe we could build a site, not so hard. We could do that. But then how do we get people to it? How do we get the right people to it? How do we get the customers to it? You know, and also fast enough to where we're not, you know, trying to build our business for the next like 5 years without any results, because we needed also money. You know, you want to make money, you want to be profitable. And so we quickly realized that if we could become better at marketing and understand marketing online, then we could sell anything. And we have, you know, a ton of ideas, physical products, online kind of digital products. And so we knew that if we could master the skill of marketing online, we could pay ourselves for life. The internet was only going to become more and more important. And I can tell you, even in the past 5 years, you know, it's shifted, it's changed. I mean, more and more people I'm seeing everywhere, you know, digital entrepreneurs, laptop lifestyle, you know, laptop businesses, online businesses, people traveling and creating this kind of remote business. And apologies if it's kind of windy, but it's windy over here in Costa Rica right now. And, you know, and they're all kind of, it's like this wave, right? I mean, how much more important, I remember seeing just recently a notification on Facebook that I've been on Facebook for 10 years. I can't even remember what it was like before Facebook, before I went on to check on my phone, all of those little notifications coming through. What was it like? And what does that mean? It means it's only going to become more important. And there was even a point, and it's funny because halfway of my lifetime into Facebook, I realized I could make money online. Right? So the first 5 years I spent just checking notifications and probably creeping people a little bit. Don't we all look at friends and like people, you know, maybe we knew from before that we kind of creep, right? I mean, that's what Facebook's for. But there was a point I realized that there's this whole other aspect to Facebook where, you know, you can pay for advertising, you can grow a business page, you can actually bring your passion online in front of billions of people. It's crazy. Right? And it's only growing, it's only becoming more important. And so, you know, once this kind of hit us, we started to do everything. And we went, I can tell you, I mean, there was so much pain. We bought traffic. I remember buying traffic in one shot, $500. And it was like this amazing thing where they told us, you know, we're going to get all these leads and all these sales, and they're going to send us all this amazing traffic. And literally, Romeo and I bought this one package, right, for $500. And it was the first time we really spent a lot